Okay. Hello and welcome, I'm Arumba, thank you for joining me. We are doing a live thing on Twitch right now, and I'm also going to be putting this up on YouTube, so just want to have a little intro there. But, yeah, we're going to do things a little bit different since we are going to be both in-game and out-of-game. We're working on updating the Smarter AI mod to the current version of the game, and, outside of that, we're going to be doing some testing and stuff. So first things first is we're actually going to exit the game here. The only thing I'm realizing is that I don't actually have my Twitch alerts set up properly for doing like monitor capture, so we'll see. We're going to go ahead and exit the game then for now. That is not stuff you should be seeing. That was some random emails about the Galciv stuff. Anyway, alright, so what we need to do is start off by doing a comparison between the Smarter AI mod and the current version of the game. That's the very first thing we're going to do. So let me just outline exactly what we're going to be working on here tonight. So the plan is we need to update this mod, make it compatible with the current version of the game. I know for a fact that shipyards and docks kind of got their roles reversed, so I'm going to have to look through some of the code a little bit, change the building priority on those buildings. Hey, new subscriber. Well, that's curious. Why did the sound effect play even though I don't have that thing open? Huh. That's really weird. Also, why is Chatty not saying that I'm online? I'm gonna turn Chatty off and turn it back on again. Maybe that'll fix it, right? There we go. Now it's showing it's correct. Alright, so anyway, let's go ahead and we're gonna use this program called WinMerge. I've used this before. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, we're gonna go down to C, Program Files, Steam Apps. Where's that sound effect coming from? Is that Discord? No, that's Chatty. Okay, that's the sound. Someone's hosting me. Damn it, you guys are jerks! Oh, you're confusing me again. Alright, interface. No, it's not interface. I forget. What is Smarter AI? It's common. We need to compare the mod folder to the common folder of EU4 itself. So on the left-hand side, we've got my mod. On the right-hand side, we have the EU4 proper. And we can see what's different between the two files. So, first things first, end define start date 1444, end date max random new world. Okay. So, for some reason, my Smarter AI mod has a difference in the Lua here. We're going to go ahead and change that back. There's a lot of changes, actually. Wow. This is going to take longer than I expected already, just looking at this. Okay, wow. The whole file is completely changed. They've added a bunch of crap. Which means that if I really want to make this thing work, I'm going to pretty much just have to start fresh and use my my changelog. Do I still have the changelog in here? I hope so. I do. Good. So there's our changelog. Let's, I think I'm going to just do this. I think this is going to be a lot easier. So if the defines.lua has been changed that significantly, we're going to go into Steam, we're going to go into EU4, common, we're going to find defines.lua, and we're going to just copy paste this into Smarter AI. And we're going to get this file already exists prompt, we're going to overwrite it, and we're going to edit this defines. We want to do side-by-side viewing, so window, Windows. Let's see, there's a way to do this in this thing, isn't there? Side-by-side. Tell you what, we'll just do this. We'll pull this guy out. There we go. Problem solved. All right, why do it within the application when you can just do it without? All right, so okay, these are the changes that I made. These were the AI defines changes that I had done in the previous version. So now we don't have to worry about this thing being inaccurate. Oh shit, am I comparing it against CK2? Pardon my language, by the way. Yeah, okay, there we go. That explains why why it was so different. Alright, can we revert that change, please? Oh, jeez. Oh, that's what happens when you dive right in without having a chance to plan. Let's see if I still have an old version of Smarter AI. I should. One sec. Alright, yeah, I do. 1 second. We can restore that file that I deleted. I was wondering why it was so damn different. Alright, so this is my mod. We're going to replace it yet again. Overwrite. Let's give this another shot. What do you say? Alright, so, common. Win merch. You can tell I was playing CK2 all day today, can't you? Common. EU4. Alright, so it's different, but not as different as it used to be. Good stuff. Con.tra stuff. This crap doesn't matter. Rebel spy offense. Prestige penalty on discovery infiltrate. They've changed that apparently. Counter espionage effect. This seems all different apparently. Oh, you know what? No, I haven't done this mod. This is all just brand new. It's the spy effect. The spy stuff. There's no more AE from fabricating claims. That makes sense. EO humiliate power gain. EO. Oh, okay. So they buffed the amount of monarch points that you get when you win with the humiliate CB. There is no fabricate claims slowdown thing anymore. Penalty if discovered doesn't matter. Looks like most of this stuff, until we get down to the very bottom, I'm just going to be able to copy paste it over. Hex needed to reform is apparently, it says 18. 6 per... Did they really just add mercantilism just this last patch? And they must have. I don't remember that. Tariff Liberty Desire increase got changed. Liberty Desire administrative efficiencies. Fine. Raise on restoration is apparently not changed, but they added a footnote to it. Okay. Pirates Monopoly bonus. Alright, this is where we see the sailor cost. Alright, sound effects. That's the subscriber sound effect, so I really kind of wish... You know what? Let's see if I can just add the sound real quick. The browser source... Twitch alerts. And we'll go... Can't remember the keyboard shortcut for it. It's like Control D, I think. Order. Transform. Fit to screen. Center to screen. It is Control D. Look at that. What do you know? Well, it's not going to be lined up perfectly with the other ones, but hopefully if anyone else subscribes, we will get a pop-up on the screen now. I'll be able to see your name. Okay, hold on. Go back. Fortress cost. This is where I had modified the cost of fortresses. I lowered the maintenance cost for them. I think we're going to keep that in there. Condottieri is new. Level support modifier is different. Combat dice side. We haven't modified. There it is. CT764. Welcome. How's the music volume, by the way? Normally I don't play it in an external media player, so I'm not sure if it's too loud or too quiet or what. Okay, so here we have the fort maintenance cheat. And then their note is funny. Set to disable, right? And then it says, warning will make the AI suck. They literally have it in there. Warning will make the AI suck. Yeah, or maybe the AI is just, you know, bad at building buildings, and that's why they suck. We'll leave it, what do you guys think? Should we leave it on or not? I'll turn the music down a little bit if it's too loud. I normally have it at 5. There we go. Let's put it down there. Alright, thank you. I'm glad that you guys mentioned it. Well, I asked, but I'm glad that you guys gave me answers. I cut it in half, which might be way too quiet compared to what it was. Turn it off. You want to turn off the cheat? Alright, let's see. I mean, we'll see. I'm not sure. This might actually make the AI worse. If they're significantly worse with it, then we'll need to eventually stop that. Okay, big ship fraction. These are things that I had changed. I had reduced the amount of big ships that they make. I had reduced the amount of artillery that they make. I'm not sure if this is a logical thing to do anymore now that navies have a combat width, and we kind of need them to be really strong. Also, hold on. I don't think I actually did an announce video. The stream is live. I did one earlier today, but I don't think I remembered to put one up. I was late. Sorry. Let me just put one up real quick. Streaming right now on Twitch. All right. Now the new subscriber, Q20322. Thank you, buddy. Welcome to Team Subscriber. Advisor budget fraction, the amount of money they'll spend. Corruption budget fraction. So this thing here we need to copy over then. Darn it. Okay, over force limit avoidance factor, I had doubled. So they don't want to go over their force limit because we manually raise their force limit by forcing them to build buildings that increase their force limit, so they don't need to go over the force limit, so they don't do stupid shit like buy a whole bunch of mercs and go like 20 over the force limit and go 7,000 ducats into debt, because that's what almost every AI does every game. Min ships for Admiral, we doubled that because we didn't want them to waste a slot buying an Admiral, because Admirals are stupid and pointless anyway. 9 times out of 10, they're pointless. Cancel construction siege progress. They had it at 0, which was dumb because they would cancel their constructions of building even if there was a 0% chance of success. I changed it to 1 so that it has to be a positive number before they will actually cancel it. So if it's at 7%, 14%, etc., they'll cancel it. 0% was wrong. Conquest interest distance. We changed this. I don't think we need to worry about this. I want to revert this change because I don't care about trying to make the AI more aggressive or anything like that. I just want to get the building functionality back. Forced army march minimum size. I do want them to not try to force march tiny armies. I think that's dumb. Pursue distance. Sure, we'll leave that as is. Call power ratio. They will only call in allies in an offensive war if their military power ratio to the enemy is less than this. So I made them more likely to call their allies in. I think that's a good thing. Development cap base, I raised that so they're going to have more building slots. If they decide to spend points on development, then we want them to go up to 20, because that's where the extra building slot is. Going to 30 is nuts. 10 was the previous value, which is too low. 20 is still usually pretty something they can do. Peace independence factor is apparently new. Peace terms independence base multiplier is higher now. Okay, let's just do whatever they put into it. Peace terms give up claim permanent is different now. We've got stuff about con.dr, share maps. We've got sabotage reputation, slander merchants, all that junk. Stuff about building spy networks is fine, doesn't affect us. So let's just confirm that the only things that have changed are the things that I want changed. Westcand, welcome to Team Subscriber, thank you. So yeah, we've upped the development base, we've changed how aggressively they call in their allies. We've modified when they will use force march. We've made it so they don't cancel sieges that are less than, that are not a positive number. We made it so they don't hire admirals as often. They spend a little bit less on advisors, so hopefully they'll buy level 1 advisors more often, which is what players do. At least I do. When you're wanting to get ahead in the game, you kind of need to go with just level 1 advisors until you're really, really balling. Desired surplus, I don't know if this is actually making it... It didn't seem like changing this actually helped at all, but what this does is, in theory, supposed to make them try to have more money on hand at all times. I raised it by 50%. Over force limit avoidance factor, we doubled, so they try not to go over the force limit. The percentage of their income that they try to save, we increased. Transportation, I lowered the number of transport ships they make slightly, not by much. About a 20% reduction. Artillery fraction. They're only going to have 25% of their new subscriber, Nick Jones 83. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. So the artillery fraction was reduced from 35% down to 25%. But if you actually read this thing here, the next line, force composition change at tech level 11. At tech level at which the AI will double its artillery fraction. So what that means is that in an early game, they'll have up to 25% of their overall troops. So say they have 40,000 men. Up to 10,000 of those will be artillery. And once they're after tech level 11, if they have 40,000 troops, 50% of those will be artillery. So what we were trying to avoid here is that, have you ever been in a game, right? And what you're seeing is like, I know this happens to me. I see it all the time with the Ottomans, where a guy will, like, he'll have 13 cannons with 3 cav and 1 infantry. And it's just this idiotic army that's just rolling around. And I think what's happening there is that the AI is just making too many cannons, and then they create multiple AI, like, battle heads, you know, for combat in the war, and then they're just complete idiots with it. And it's just a horrible composition. So by reducing the amount of artillery that they hire, they will have a larger surplus of income because they pay less for their maintenance. They have more infantry, which is more frontline troops, which are also the cheapest troop. It's just better. No, this is never going to be a mod that will work with Iron Man. Well, you can play Iron Man with it, but you can't get achievements with it. Red hair, Dave Actual. Fort maintenance sheet is off. So that's all the changes there, except it looks like there might be one more up here. And that was the maintenance cost, base fort cost. So this is where an unmaintained fort costs a half ducat a month. Fully maintained costs twice this. So that's where the 1 ducat a month for level 1 comes from. I cut it in a quarter because I think that it's way too high to begin with. So we're just going to stick with that for now. We don't have to have this. I want to try it out though. Okay, the other stuff that we have to change in here was the buildings thing. So let's go back to WinMerge. This is where we're comparing Crusader Kings 2. We don't want this. Discard all changes. All right, let's go back in here. One more comparison here. Actually, didn't need to reload this, did I? Okay, so we changed the defines.lua. The only thing that's different now between it and the current one is the things that we just went over. The buildings.txt file, this is where apparently, yeah, this file, we don't need to compare it actually against the actual base game, because the base game's numbers are just wrong. What we need to do now is go into common, buildings, and just modify this in a text file. And the main thing I need to do, there's really only one thing that I need to do, which is to go through and make sure that we modify docks, the upgraded docks, shipyards, and the other thing. And I'm 99% sure shipyards are the one that we want to do, right? Shipyards are the one that we want them to build now. Alright, so shipyard, cost 12. Sorry, cost 100, time 12, has port equals yes, modifier. AI will do factor equals 0 if owner has shipyards equals 5. And I don't think this is ever actually working, which isn't really a problem, but we don't want that anymore. So let's not put any restriction on the AI will do factor, just based on how many they have, because we actually want them to make this a lot. Like, basically, you know what we could do, actually? Let's just compare the dock stuff. Hold on, I do need to do the comparison, don't I? Because they actually changed the building straight up. Andrew Plays 4 is hosting me, apparently. Alright, that's cool. I do need to go through. There's a couple changes here that are important, because they've actually changed the buildings. So we have to go through this line by line, unfortunately. Okay. See, look at this. This is where you can clearly see the difference between vanilla on the right and my mod on the left. On the right, we've got temple. AI will do? Yeah. Factor 100. AI will do it. That's all the coding that they put into it. Not like, hey, maybe you should try to prioritize provinces that have high base tax. No, just the AI will do it. So on my side, we've got AI will do relative factor 2500 versus the 100, and I've mathed this all out before in previous streams, but the lower the base tax is, the less interested they are in upgrading it. All the way down to base tax 2. They won't do it below base tax 2. So anyway, it's a pretty significant thing, unless there were some other modifiers in here that if it's controlled by any estate other than these ones that are less interested in it, etc., etc. Alright, the barracks didn't get changed. Shipyard. This is where, okay, trigger equals modifier. This is where it's completely different now. This is what it used to be. Local ship cost. And now it's naval force limit and ship recruit speed. Let's change that over. Change that over. And then save. So there should be 4 buildings here that I have to modify. Basically just ships and dockyards. I think those are the main ones that got adjusted. Alright, here we go. This is where the dock is now, instead of naval force limit, it is sailors. Okay, then we gotta go down to the upgraded versions of those. It's the university. There's the trade depot, Grand Shipyard, that's what we're looking for. Grand Shipyard is now, instead of local ship costs, local ship repair, and ship recruit speed, it is now these things. And finally, the big dock. Wherever the hell that thing was. Why am I getting the impression I've already skipped it? Nope, there it is right there. Dry dock. Used to increase naval force limit by 4, now it's just this local sailors modifier. Okay. That should update it, hopefully, to the, to the base. Like, all the buildings are correct now. Alright, now we can go back up to dock. In the next. AI will do, factory equals, and, you know what I'm actually going to do? Is I want to do this. I want to save this as a separate file on the desktop that I can use. Scratch file. Hopefully this doesn't take too much longer, because, I want to get things, I want to get testing now. So we got our scratch file, and we've got our buildings file. EU4, Smarter AI, Common Buildings, good, good, good. Okay, so scratch. And again, we're going to do the same thing we did a second ago. Get rid of the defines comparison here. Okay, you're on the left. Excuse me. Why the hell aren't you opening up? What in the hell is going on here? Open the damn file up. Piece of junk. I don't. It's just being retarded. It's not actually letting me open up this other file after I do that. There we go. Can I please do this the way that I want to do this game? Will you please allow me to do what I want to do? Nope, it's just flat out refusing to let me do what I want to do. Okay, fine. Fine then, game. I'll just have to do this the old-fashioned way. Alright, so I'm looking for the modifiers to, like, land force limit. Let's see. Is overseas doesn't matter as a modifier anymore. Because is overseas used to be a 75% reduction in force limits, and I had it set up so they would just never do it if it was overseas. We've already got autonomy modifiers in here, so I think we can just get rid of the is overseas thing. AI will do factor equals 0 if the number of free building slots is 3. If it's not at least 3. That is wrong because shipyards are very high priority now. Okay. And then this is where I was restricting it so that they would only make a couple docks, because they were supposed to be used for repairs, not for anything else. So basically this modifier is completely bad and not good either. I've prioritized the shipyard at about 1300. Let's see what we prioritize the regimental camp at. $1250? Okay. So essentially, all of these modifiers here that were for the dock now need to go to the shipyard instead. So any of this AI will do nonsense is now going to be up here for this. The other thing we need to do is to go to the Grand Shipyard. Alright, fine. Just Shipyard. Find it twice. It's Grand underscore is why. Okay, so again, AI will do for the Grand Shipyard. It's changed over and modified by burgers. Dock. And see, this is where... Okay, hold on. I shouldn't have done that because I need to copy-paste the crap that was here for the Grand Shipyard in the previous version of the game to docks. No, I don't. That's dumb. Because I just don't want them to ever make it. So we're just going to go find docks. This whole shipyard crap. We're just going to say AI will do no. AI will do factor equals 0. Just don't build these. They're stupid. AI will do factor equals 0. Okay, good. And the other dock, just copy paste this whole section here. Dry dock. AI will do no. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. Alright. Yeah, we're spreadsheeting it up. I can see all your emotes there in chat. Okay, so now that I have had a chance here and I'm out of my, like, coding mode here, let me read chat for a second. Did I make any mistakes? Did you guys see any mistakes? At the conscription center, we've got things that are related to those. The nobles, the nomadic tribes, and the Cossacks. The modifiers here based on the percentage of their army relative to the cap. The closer they get to their cap, the more interested they are in trying to raise their force limit. This mod will be available, ISAC Berlin, after I am done updating it tonight. I'll put it on my website. Yeah, I'll probably do that later, I as a monkey. The one person host things are usually, I think, people who are just, they have their own stream open. I'd rather not get alerts about things like that. Okay. What's wrong with the cannon ratio? I'm gonna wait a second here to hear. What's wrong with the cannon ratio? No, PBR 7994. Sailors are completely pointless and should have never been added to the game. That's why I have never once built a dock, and the AI should never, ever, 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 ever build a dock. In my Tunisian thievery campaign, I'm literally at 3 times the sailor limit because of raiding. You just never, ever run out of sailors. They're pointless. That artillery ratio was compared to infantry only, not the whole army. Okay. I still think that reducing it is a good idea. I still would stipulate that nations that have only a couple of provinces on the coast shouldn't even try to build ships. I just don't think there's any point to it. Alright, one second. I'll adjust the Twitch alerts thing. Alright, should be updated now. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any other mistakes. I want to take one more quick cursory glance at this whole file. So our barracks don't matter. We've already worked on all that. Here's the shipyard. As we see the modifiers. AI will do if it's owned by the burghers, or if it has low autonomy, they get more and more interested. So they get less and less interested the higher the autonomy gets. Which means that will automatically account for the fact that they've changed how overseas works. Because if a province is not a state, then it'll have high autonomy, which will make them less interested automatically. That looks good. We've already got all of our fort stuff in here, so the AI will not build forts, at least until the next patch, when they make it so that there's a defensive bonus if you are in the mountains or something. In this version of this mod, the AI will not build. They will almost never build forts in defensive terrain. They will always prioritize open terrain, because that's better for them in the current version of the game. Alright, I think we're going to give it a go now. I think we're good. Let's close all this stuff down. Let's go ahead and launch the game. Also, I need to check the actual mod file itself to see if I need to update this thing. Yeah, supported version is only 0.15. We need to change this over to 0.17. Alright, let's go ahead and load up SMRTR AI. Okay, so now what we need to do is play on speed 5 in observe mode. And I've got a plan. I need to start working on a spreadsheet for this though. Let's do file. You guys can't see this yet, but that's fine. New blank workbook. We'll save this as SMRTR AI comparison book in my... There we go. Okay, so we're going to do single player. We're going to go to France. We're going to load the game, start the game. I have no idea why, but I love these streams. Awesome. Glad to hear it. All right, so the good thing is we're just going to be playing in speed 5, right? In observe mode. So observe. And here's what we're going to do is basically we're just going to let the game run as quickly as it can, hopefully here. I'm certainly hoping it's going to go a little bit faster than this on speed 5. What's going on? All right, seems like it's speeding up a little bit, but that's kind of crap. Roof toilet 1107. Good God, it's 3 months already. Happy 3-month sub-anniversary. Cool. When you were playing the Tunisian Thievery, what mod were you using for the map? The colors were really bright and interesting. That was a mod called... I think I might have deleted it. No, it was called Theatrum Morbis Terrarum. I don't know if I said that right, but that's what it was called. I'll paste it in chat. That's the name of it. Is it just me, or does this feel like this is a very slow speed 5? Is there something wrong? Is it because I'm doing game? Oh, I'm doing game capture instead of borderless. There we go. Let's change this over. May or may, whoa, those are some crazy words there. May or may not make a difference is what I was trying to say. It does seem quite slow. It's gonna take a long time to get 100 years into the game at this rate. Even if I don't pause at all. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be because I'm recording this locally and I'm streaming at the same time. That's probably the difference between this and the last time I streamed doing stuff like this. I wasn't doing the local recording at the same time. The problem though is that Twitch, for whatever reason, if you stream to Twitch and then you do the thing where you upload from Twitch to YouTube, you export it, you connect the two accounts, then for whatever reason, even if you stream at 1080p on Twitch, they only send over the 720p copy to YouTube. So I'm trying to capture the 1080p copy locally, because I'd rather that it look nicer on YouTube as well. So it's legible when I'm doing stuff with chat, with text and stuff. So, maybe I'll have to rescale my plan here. It's already 8:40. Got an hour and 20 minutes or so left for the stream today. So, what I want to do is my plan is to get 3 samples. I'll tell you what, let's do, hopefully this doesn't slow it down even more. We're gonna do monitor capture for a second. We'll let this thing run in the background. And while it's running, put this on this side so you can actually see the date as it's ticking by. What I want to start setting up here is a ledger page, and I was actually hoping that I'd be able to use an OCR text converter to take a screenshot of the ledger page after 100 years of gameplay, and then just have it convert over the file for me. It should be legible. I think that an OCR converter could work. But if it doesn't, then I'll just transpose it manually. But what I want to do is I want to have 3 sets of data. Let's start writing stuff down. Just whatever comes to mind. It's just like doing EVE Online, where you just... Where does a spreadsheet start? A1. You just start writing stuff. Alright, so we've got country. We want to know what country it is, because I want to be able to compare it. We're going to want to be able to do some VLOOKUPs and stuff. So we're going to want to have like run 1, 2, 3. And we're going to want to probably... We'll say run 1. We'll call it vanilla run 1. And then we'll create vanilla run up to 3. Get a couple extra spacing there, and we'll call it modded run 1 up to 3. I mean, I think 3 is going to be a good number to start with. 3 is not, it's a very small sample size to actually be able to compare them, but we'll see. So we're going to have the country name. We're going to create this. This is going to become a table. I'm actually going to need separate tabs for each one of these things because I can't fit it all in this one little box here. No, this is not going to work. We need this to be down here. We'll have to have multiple sheets. So okay, that's right. I was thinking about this before I started. Okay, this is going to be the comparison sheet. It's going to be my vanilla run 1 sheet. Let's just delete this sheet. We'll go move or copy, move to end, create a copy. The same thing again. Move or copy, move to end, make a copy. Do that 3 more times. Okay, so the comparisons where we'll be able to reference the VLOOKUPs and stuff. So on each sheet then, I'm going to want to have the countries, country name. We're going to want to have things like, let's go take a look at the ledger. So some of the stuff that I'm going to want, so unpause the game while we're looking at the ledger. I'm going to want to know, these are the values that I'm going to try to measure. I want income. I want to see the treasury value. I want to see nothing else from this screen, I think, actually. On the military tab, we're gonna pull basically tab this first page and this page, and then also the doc page as well. From the army thing, I want to know manpower. We'll put a little divider in here just so I can visually kind of know that that's on a different page. So manpower, total troops, force limit. That's for ground troops. Then over here, we're going to have the same thing. One more page in, which is going to be navies. We're going to have... I don't care about sailors. That's stupid. But I want to have total... all total ships and naval force limit. We'll call this land force limit. Total troops. I guess we do want to know manpower cap. Grab these, make them all big enough for their own things there. Get rid of these for now. Convert this into a table. My table has headers. Okay. So here's the idea, right? So after 100 years of playing this and letting this simulation run, what should end up happening is that if we average the values of 3 runs, we'll have, hopefully, a little bit better than just doing a singular run. It's still not going to be as good as if you do, 10 runs or 100 runs or something to get the average, but it's going to give us a ballpark approximation of what's different. I'm sure there's some statisticians in here who are going to say 3 sample size is way too small. And you're right, but we only have so much time. So for tonight, for this stream, we're probably just going to do a 100-year playthrough on the modded and 100-year on the vanilla. And then I'll do some solo things, get some more data a little bit later. I could even theoretically, I wonder if I could just leave the game running on observe overnight. And if I'd be able to interact with the game at all at the very end, or if it would just go to the game over screen and then I couldn't look at the ledger. If I could, can you look at the ledger after game over? It looks like Crimea's beating the Golden Horde right now. First things first, we should be checking, I think, to see probably 20, 30 years into the game if they're actually doing stuff that makes any sense, or if I've messed it all up and I need to adjust the mod before we get too far into the process. No, I'm not even worried about Native Americans. They don't matter. A 100 would be way too many. Would it yearly autosaves then reload the 1821 save? That's a great idea. Will it do autosaves on, I think I don't even have autosaves on. Does it? Let's just test this. Yearly autosaves. Let's see if it does autosaves in observe mode. That looked like an autosave right there. So yeah. Okay, that's great to know. I will turn that on. I'll do some simulations overnight. In which case, maybe we don't need to do 100-year things. Well, I was going to do 100 years just because I thought I'd have to do it manually, but if I can actually let the game run for, for 380 some years or whatever it is, 379 years, then that might be better. Of course, it's also a much longer time, and countries will probably ball out of control. But the way I picture it is this. Let's say that in run number 1, France has an income. Let's just go look at the spreadsheet here again. Let's just say that run number 1, we've got France, right? And I pull from the ledger using an OCR converter, and we find that France's income after 100 years is 60 ducats a month. In their treasury, they've got, 450 gold. Their manpower cap is whatever it is. And then maybe in run number 2, the numbers are different, and their income is 70, right? So some of that disparity is going to be explained by the fact that the game was different, right? Different nations attacked different nations, and some people had succession crises and personal unions, and maybe in this game, Spain took the Iberian wedding, and Poland took the union over Lithuania, and then maybe in another game they didn't, that kind of thing. Also zoom out, the armies lag the game. Yeah, we probably shouldn't be that far in. And so, by having enough samples, hopefully we can get an approximation. And all that really matters is that if we compare the averages for, let's say, every country, here's my goal. I want to have, obviously we're going to have information for lots of different countries. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 nations. So if we sort by, like, say, income, and we look at the top 15 nations sorted by income on this screen, and we find that Ming and these guys are the top 15, basically, if I take all of these countries and average all of their income to get an overall picture of what's the average income for page 1 of income, and then I do that across multiple runs, we could say that in general, the average income after 100 years across all countries on the first page of the ledger is X. And in vanilla, the average income across the top 15 nations across the entire world over X number of runs is Y. And then we could say, okay, well, X is this much larger than Y, therefore the smarter AI mod makes the AI this percentage better at making money. And it makes the AI this percentage better at making max manpower. Like they have more manpower, they have more whatever. They have more force limit, that kind of thing. All right, I keep zooming in a little bit. Looks like, holy crap, England's getting wrecked by lollards right now. They must have that disaster. All right, we are about 15, 16 years into the game so far, which is a little bit. Does Excel run at 60 FPS? Yes, it does. Of course. You should do that last page or middle page too to make sure you're not just making the large nations even stronger. Well, here's the thing. Kind of the goal about the mod, though, is to make the large nations better. In theory, if you improve the AI across the board, if you just make the AI better at building buildings and large nations have more money than small nations, then this mod is unfair, right? It's going to make bigger nations better. But that's the point. The point is to make the AI more competent, more like a player. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do that's going to make Kharkov beat Lithuania, right? It's just not going to happen. The fact that Kharkov even exists is kind of interesting, by the way. But anyway, you're not going to make Kharkov capable of beating Lithuania. It's just not likely to happen. But what I want to have happen is that if you're playing as France, then Poland and Lithuania and the Ottomans are going to pose a legitimate threat to you as if they were playing as a player. You know, they're not going to be building docks. They're going to be building shipyards. They're going to be building more stuff. You know, they're just going to be doing whatever. I would worry that the spread in the data is so great that you would need to do like 100 runs to see a difference. Maybe. But I would be willing to bet that even just off one sample point, we're going to see a marked difference. Of course we will. They can't be the same, right? And even just having 3 or 5 or whatever the number is going to present us with some information. Now, I know there's someone out there who's probably smarter than I am when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I don't know, maybe they can make EU4 run in a headless state or something. They can have it run faster for me or something, and then spit out the save file, and then it could parse the save file with some other Python script or some nonsense, and from the save file it could deduce what the ledger values were for the top 15 nations, etc., and organize it all for me. If anyone knows how to do that, please speak up, go ahead, I'd be happy to hear it. However, for now, for entertainment's sake as well, we're going to just do it this way, because I don't know how to do that stuff. Austria got Burgundy, France about to get wrecked. Did they? Oh yeah, looks like the Burgundian inheritance fired in this one. Now, that's going to be an interesting variation as well. Is that likely? I don't know that it is. I thought I remember reading that like the Emperor getting the lowlands here, getting the Netherlands was like very unlikely now. Isn't it only like 10 or 20% chance? This first one is a modded run. I want to get 1 sample point on the modded, and then we're going to go do a vanilla. Maybe for tonight's purposes, just to guarantee we have enough time, we'll just do 50 years, and then I'll do my overnight thing, and we'll do the full gambit. I'll have to do it over the course of like at least a week, right? Because I'm only going to run the game overnight once. I wonder if I can get multiple executables of EU4 running at the same time. Probably not, right? Steam's going to complain and say, the game's already running, you can't do that. Not allowed. Yeah, Provence is gone. Brittany is, okay, so Brittany stole some land from Provence, and France is going to come kill Brittany, obviously. I'm sure he desires this land, right? Oh yeah, he wants to kill Brittany. Something fierce. Scottish noble rebels. Sweden, are you still, yeah, he's still under Denmark. Lithuania is independent. What? Poland refused the union over Lithuania. Ah, what a dummy. I'm not going to wake up every 2 hours. No way. Virtual machines. Can you do that with Steam? Or would Steam get up? It should work if you run it from the exe directly and just like leave Steam offline, maybe. That might work. All right, well, let's go ahead. It's been about 20 years. Let's just take a quick. We're gonna pause the game. We're gonna hop into some countries here. We're gonna tag switch over to like Castile, for example. Let's just go see how they're doing on buildings for now. So far, they've built a marketplace. One of the changes with this mod, by the way, if you're not familiar with it, is if it's your first time actually checking out the mod, one of the hard restrictions I made is that the AI will not build marketplaces, they will not build trade depots, and they will not build stock exchanges unless a province has an estuary. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not worth the money. And you'd be better off spending the money on a temple or something else. So you'll notice here that he's only built 1 marketplace in Sevilla. Beyond that, he's not built anything. Looks like I've got a bug. Damn it. There's a minor bug with the font. I messed something up. Damn it. You can still build them though, right? Yeah. So it's just a minor thing. I need to go figure out what the hell it is though. Damn it. It's got to be in the buildings file. It's got to be a missing bracket, probably from when I deleted stuff. It's probably related to all the areas that I changed. This goes down to AI will do. That closes out temple. This AI will do is for this one. The barracks. It's got to be near, like, let's find that first fort. There it is right there. That's the one. So we got shipyard. Has no closing bracket. Trigger, modifier, AI will do. AI will do closes here instead of here. Derp. What do you think the chances are? You think it's all mucked up? I'll tell you this. We'll do this. We're gonna go, we're gonna reload. Let's fix the mod. Valder87 has subscribed. Welcome to Team Subscriber. Let's reload the mod now. Alright. Updated smart AI. Hopefully that fixes that thing. The fact that we were still very early in the game and none of the other buildings I think were even accessible to most countries, I think that is going to cause us not really be an issue. A1 star, 2,000 ducat for it. It wasn't actually 2,000 ducats, it's just it was a text error. That's what happens when you have one missing bracket. We should be able to just say continue game. Yeah. Interesting, Jorlum. You drag the tab directly onto the desktop, directly it spawns there and is usable without unlocking and moving the start bar. Weird. I assumed it had something to do with the fact that I'm running Display Fusion, because I've got 3 monitors. Anyway, we should see now that that is no longer bugged. Good. That was just a missing bracket there. Looks like Castile's got some inflation, their prices are a little bit higher. They apparently have no forts. Huh. Alright, well, that's not good. That's not my fault. Okay, never mind, it might be. I think this might have something to do with the fact that they, Alright. You think this is related to the fact that there was a missing bracket? It might be. Damn it. Damn it. If no nations have forts. Yeah. Son of a gun. It's either... nice job, Navarro, yeah. It's either that the forts got... like, the AI didn't know how to handle that because there was a missing bracket and they decided to delete them, or it could be related to the fact that I'm making them pay for the forts now. But I also cut the maintenance of the forts into quarters, so it's not that much. Unfortunately... yeah, we should look at the fort level map mode. These are probably all level 1s. All these blues are just level 1s. Yep. Every single AI nation deleted their forts. That's got to be related to the damn bracket. So never mind, this 20 years is screwed. No, Peluf. In vanilla EU4, current version of the game, the AI does not pay for any forts which border enemy nations or they border sea tiles. It used to be that they also didn't pay if they bordered wasteland, which is complete nonsense, but that got patched out. So if an AI borders... man, I swear my computer is running so slow right now. Am I like running something else in the background or some nonsense? Yeah, the AI finally realized that they were a waste of money, right? Observe. Right, so if we look at the AI, you can see right here. Fortress is fully maintained, costing us 0 ducats a month. That should... well, that's curious. Hold on. I thought we turned that off. I thought that we made the AI have to pay for the stuff. Huh. It's on. Why is it on again? I could have sworn I modified that, didn't I? I'm losing my mind a little bit. Let's just try another quick comparison of the defines file. Fortress cost. Okay. No, right now the Fortness maintenance sheet is on. You guys had you guys had wanted me to turn it off, so we're gonna turn it back off again. Fort maintenance sheet is off. I think a true apples to apples comparison would be if I left it on and also kept the maintenance at 1. Someone earlier told you that you accidentally changed it back. Okay, I missed that. My mistake there. When I merged the diff earlier, it actually took that line as well. Oops. Yeah. Alright, let's give this a go again. The problem is we actually do have to get like a solid 20-30 years in the game before they can actually build anything. What we had done in the previous streams where I was building the mod was we just cheated and gave the AI extra tech levels. So they would start doing it earlier. But I'd rather not do that. Zoom out a little bit here. This is not speed 5, my god, it's so slow. I wonder if I stop my local recording, how much faster it would go. What did you set for budget fraction to? I believe we're at, Fort budget fraction 0.04. AI will spend a maximum of this fraction of monthly income on forts. I don't even know why they have it in the game if the AI cheats so much. I didn't modify that compared to the original. But there was another value up here, the fort maintenance cost. It was like base fort cost. Fortress cost. I cut the maintenance, the actual base maintenance of forts, down by a lot. So if you see here, see how they're paying 0.37 ducats a month. .37. That doesn't make any sense. How on earth did it get to 0.37? Normally, a level 1 fort costs 1 ducat a month, if it's fully maintained. 0.37 is clearly not 1/4. What the hell happened? Okay, but yeah, but if you look at vanilla... Take a look at the vanilla defines. Base fort cost in vanilla is 0.5. And then that somehow turns into 1 ducat a month fully maintained and a half ducat a month not maintained. No, you don't pay extra for the you do not pay extra for your capital fort. Capital fort's free. Now, I'm pretty sure that 0.125 is 1/4 of 0.5. Pretty sure. No, it's not a level 2 fort, it's level 1 fort. Level 1 fort gives you 2 points. Oh. I know what it is. Crap, I totally forgot about that change. I don't want that change in there. Damn it! You need to start over again. You know what the issue is? The math is right. The math is fine. The issue is that I had modified fort levels. Derp. I had changed the initial fort to be level 1. No, I want to change this back. What it was is I felt that early game forts got too weak too early, and late game forts got way too strong, and so I nerfed it. I changed it from fort level 2468 to like 3567 or something like that. We have to just revert that. I don't want that to be in the game right now. So fort, my bad. Fort 16th is level 4. Fort 17th is level 6. And this is level 8. Yeah, my bad. It's been a while since I messed with this mod. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I am. You're right, Dark Hunter. I've made about as much progress as I normally do when playing with Stejo. You're right completely. So now, now I think we're finally ready to get some data. Yeah? You could just fix the math on the cost for the new level. No, I think if we're going to try to compare apples to apples, we really do need to have that not be part of it. Oh, I'm supposed to be on observe mode right now. Alright, so we'll get that thing running for a second here. Now we should be able to see if we hover over this that they are paying 0.25. Now the math's right. Yay! Remember, how did you learn this programming stuff? Well, for EU4, CK2, and anything Paradox related, I just opened up the files and read them. Just try to figure out what they did. Started playing with it. Alright, so a fully maintained level 1 fort in the mod is a quarter as expensive, but the goal for the mod as well was to stop making the AI cheat and make it a level playing field, right? I don't like it when the AI is given handicaps where they just cheat. So if we're going to give the AI vastly reduced maintenance on forts, we're going to give everyone vastly reduced maintenance on forts by making them pay for their forts, but by making them a quarter as expensive. And that way the player is not just at a disadvantage financially against every other nation in the world simply because they're controlled by an AI, which is just dumb. Can you consider running with fort map mode and buildings map mode? Yeah, we can try to change this. Well, the buildings map mode doesn't do much because you have to actually be the nation that is playing it to see. For some reason, the buildings map mode doesn't actually do anything for you, except for this apparently with uncolonized land. The fort map mode, though, I mean, we can see they have their forts. One of the things that we're going to want to observe closely is to see and confirm that the AI is building forts in flat terrain again. They should be. That hasn't really changed. Also, one of the major advantages to this mod compared to vanilla is that in vanilla EU4, even to this day, right now, if you were to go load EU4 and play a solo campaign, if the AI ever has their capital get moved because they lost their previous capital for example, let's say for example, if Aragon somehow gets their capital moved to Tarragona and they have a fort in Valencia, they will never ever under any circumstance build a fort in their capital. Because the AI in vanilla is strictly told to never ever build a fort adjacent to their to an existing fort, even if it's their capital. They just won't do it, which is not good enough. So with my mod, we've already worked this out in previous streams. With my mod, they will always prioritize building a fort in their capital because obviously it's the most valuable province. It also affects their war enthusiasm and it affects their war exhaustion incredibly much. Like, it's so important that they try to protect their capital. Power balance disable versus player. If set to 1, the AI will never directly pick a human player nation as a power balance threat. That's curious. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's new. New fort in the province west of Nice. Alright. That's just a capital fort. Looks like Provence lost Anjou. He's forced down there. That's why that fort's there. Well, these are just level 1 forts. They don't actually have real forts. They're all just capital forts. That's why it's this color. There's a slight color difference on the level 2s. Surprisingly, though, actually, it doesn't really seem that different, does it? These look the exact same color. Is there a difference between these ones up here that are level 1 and these ones? They look the same color to me. I wish that this thing was a little bit more specific. Huh. To quickly check what the AI does with provinces, use the commands to give Ottomans all of Hungary. That's not really the goal of collecting data. Assuming that there's no more bugs, like, you know, missing brackets and port levels that shouldn't be modified, that kind of thing. Then I do want to try to do, at least, I still have time. I would like to at least get like 40 to 50 years in on a modded run and 40 to 50 years in on a unmodded run, and just be able to start working on a spreadsheet that I can use to compare the data. Wow, Muscovy's already at war with Lithuania. What the hell happened to Poland? Jesus Christ, man. Again, you refuse the Union. You freaking idiot. What's the chances these days? It's like 25%, right? Poland is just dead. Lithuania's getting dead. They're negative 81 war score against Muscovy. And it's a war over Smolensk. Oh my gosh. Is it? I think it is up to 25 now. I think it's still 10% for the Iberian wedding, but Poland actually has a 25% as the AI of refusing the Lithuanian union. If you upload the save game somewhere, I will convert them with Python and dump out all the values to XLS for you. Beetle234, do you think that it's... Could you do that? Could you make it... He looks like he released Kiev. Could you do that so that it would actually pull the data that I mentioned earlier? The things like country name, income, treasury, manpower cap, manpower, total troops, land force limit, total ships, naval force limit, etc. All that crap. Because if that's possible, that would be a whole lot easier even than using like an OCR converter to pull it using images. That'd be the way I would handle it, because I don't know how to do Python. I've never learned how to do Python. The only coding I took in college was C++, and so no, I don't know how to use Python. You found a module to do it? Cool. Is it a specific module to EU4 or something? You last 4 games they denied it. Well, it's not outside the realm of possibility with a 25% chance. I mean, it could happen. Forts can be useful, yeah. Specifically, like, what I want the AI to do, which is what I would normally do, is you build a fort in flat terrain, and that is like a speed bump, right? It slows the enemy down. It gives you points where you can safely form your army up, safely recover morale, safely train troops, that kind of thing. And then when you're ready to engage, and you want to go attack the enemy, you would prefer that they are not in defensive terrain. And in the current version of the game, there is no way to relieve a fort without taking the terrain penalty. So what I've done is I've made it so that the AI will only build forts. They will very, very, very much prefer to build forts in flat terrain. They will still build them in hills and mountains if they have to, but they really, really want to build them in flat terrain, because that allows the AI to come and smash them. They also really prioritize coastal forts, because coastal forts they've got an extra -2 against them. They're harder to siege. EU4 parser. Okay, so it is an EU4 specific module. Cool. You've played the Teutonic Order 10 times and 0 times has Poland refuse the union. Yeah. That sounds like about normal. Rev Deer, I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. How is that handled in South America, where the entire west coast is mountains? Well, we can go look at it. Let's go look at the terrain map mode. I can give you an idea. I can run you through the logic. It's easier to explain the logic than it is to look at the code. So if we look at the simple terrain map mode, just pause the game for a second so that we can actually zoom around without having the game lag like crazy. Okay, so let's say we're looking at a nation like this one here, because he's got 4 provinces. Okay, simple terrain says that he's got this province here with no fort, and it's in highlands. He's got his capital fort here. So if I'm the AI, based on the code, the mod, the very first fort he's going to build is going to be in his capital, regardless of the fact that it's the mountains, because it's his capital. He just wants a fort in his capital, because it's the smart thing to do. Especially if, again, you got to factor in that forts are much cheaper now than they are in vanilla, right? They're a quarter of the maintenance. They still cost the same amount to build out, but they are only a quarter of the maintenance. If he somehow happens to get enough money, then he's going to want to build a fort in Chichas, because it's 2 provinces away from his current fort, because he'd like to have zones of control that do not overlap. But he also would like to build in the highlands slightly more than the extra distance between the current fort and the potential fort. So it's kind of a toss-up. The AI would probably be willing to choose either of these 2 provinces. This one because it's flat, it's less of a defensive penalty, and this one because it's farther away from the existing fort. So either one would be fine. Now, if either of these 2 provinces were coastal, that would bump it up, and he'd say, okay, I want to build it in the coastal province. But yeah, generally speaking, they're not going to want to build too many forts in the mountains. Yes, of course I'll change it, Jorlum. Next patch. Once the fort owner doesn't get the defender bonus. I remember when they first announced that, they said that if you relieve a siege, then you get the defensive bonuses, which was insane. It took a penalty that used to be -2 and turned it into +2 effectively. And then they cut that in half. They said, okay, well actually, you just won't take the penalty, which is still really good. At least that's what I had heard. Yeah, Lithuania and Poland are both just boned. Muscovy's already going to be balling out of control. Sweden is still underneath Denmark. Scotland is getting wrecked by rebels right now. Looks like Desmond's conquering Ireland. France is destroying Burgundy. Got some pretenders for England. Looks like he's gotten rid of he's got a Lancaster in charge now, a 113. Ottomans have cleaned up Albania. They've gotten rid of Byzantium. Looks like Athens was conquered by Venice instead of the Ottomans. So it looks like Venice probably attacked Byzantium before the Ottomans actually went for them. Also, Venice has expanded a little bit over here into Bosnia. At this point, we're about 16 years into the game so far. We'll probably take a sample like maybe every 25 years. So let's go till 1469. And then we'll take a look to see if anyone's building any buildings. And then we'll go another 25 years. And then I think, again, for brevity's sake here, just because we don't have a huge amount of time to actually let the game run, and I do want to do this Python thing for actually collecting data, we'll look around the map a bit, we'll take down our data, get an idea of what this looks like, and then we'll go try to do a quick vanilla one and see if we can get just some sort of comparable data. It's only a single data point, so it's not going to be very accurate, but, we can try. I wonder if there's a way that I can make it so that you have a higher number of maximum autosaves. Like, what if I did 5-year autosaves, and then there's got to be a way that I can back up the autosaves outside of the regular EU4 folder and force it to not overwrite existing autosaves. Because if I did that, then I could just run multiple versions of the game overnight and just let them all run. Event process offset. What's that? Timurids are getting some pretenders now. There's a define that affects how often the game checks for events. By default, it's 20 days. By increasing the number, you can massively increase performance. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. But it does kind of make the AI weaker. PB, what do you, PBR, what do you have yours at? Or are you just commenting on the fact that it can be done? Yeah, Mamluks have expanded down into here. It looks like they're already... I think they've expanded down this way a little bit. They've eaten into Kara. A little bit. Alright, 5 years to go. You got yours at 30? You've never noticed any weaker AI? How significant is the performance difference between 20 and 30? Debug underscore saves and settings.txt. I did this for high 4, so I keep 6. Jorlum, have you ever considered though, like what if you put, I don't know, there's 380 years, so what if I did 100, you know, or 80? What if I wanted to just keep all of them for an entire run? And then set the compression on. I mean, I have 6 terabytes of storage. I'm not worried about running out of storage space. Even if they were uncompressed, I could just keep them all. If you set it to that high, though, would it cause any issues or not? I imagine it wouldn't. Doesn't seem like it'd be a very complicated thing. Sweden's still in their union. Ports blockaded by ships in Orsund. Marina's getting wrecked. Yep, I have 6 terabytes of storage space in a RAID 0 or RAID 1, I can't remember now. It's been a long time since I've looked at the RAID settings, but they're in a RAID. Redundant array of independent disks format. So the way that works then is that basically since there's 3 drives, they each take 1/3 of the data, so they can all write at the same time. So like if I were to use DxTory or Fraps or something, and I have, you know, crazy bits per second that are being recorded, each one of the drives will take 1/3 of the workload, and they each store part of the data. Drawback to it, you get triple the write speed and read speed as an independent disk, but the drawback is that if you have a single disk fail, then all of the data is corrupt, because you only have 2/3 of the file, and you can't do anything with it. But the thing is that I use it as a scratch disk. I don't care about the data. So that's the only reason I'm not using RAID 5. Yeah, RAID 0 can be dangerous. Depending on the type of data you're storing, like, right? It depends. Like, for what I'm doing, it makes perfect sense to me. Like, I haven't ever had any issue. It's not like all the important stuff that I have is stored on the cloud format or on cloud drives, or it's backed up in other locations. Not to mention, I've been using RAID 0 for, I don't know, I built this computer, I think, over 2 years ago, and all my drives are still functional, so. I guess the Mamluks just got wrecked by the Ottomans. They were forced to release Fazan. Oh, hey, we're into 1469, so let's go till November. We'll get Muscovy! What the hell, is he already colonizing or something? How the hell did he get up there? He ate all of Novgorod for the most part. Alright, we're just going till November. Alright, there's 25 years. Let's go pop around a few nations here. Build 7. Whoa, why the hell did the game unpause? All right. Build 7. Okay, so we can see here that the AI has built forts in these locations. He conquered Granada, that's why he has a fort there. Apparently before he conquered Granada, he built a fort in Cadiz. Notice the distance between his capital, this fort. See how there's 1, 2, and then he wants this one here. He didn't want it here, 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 or here because they're directly adjacent to an existing fort. He also didn't want to build it here or here because he'd rather have it on a coastline. Coastline's better. Sevilla or Cadiz would have made perfect sense to me in this case. They're both flat terrain. They're both good. He also built a fort in Murcia, which again is flat terrain on the coastline. Good stuff. He also built a fort up in Galicia and in this province up here. Galicia is woods, so he did choose, he will do defensive terrain here occasionally, but again, he's trying to spread out his forts, get lots of zone of control, and again, a big part of why this is important and why we do want the AI to build forts is look at the actual zone of control for Castile. You look at the fort area. Let's see which provinces are not protected by a zone of control. This is protected. These are all protected. Of course, these two are protected by this and by this. These are protected. This is all protected. This is protected, 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 and we've got one province here that's not protected by a zone of control. That means that only one of the provinces in the entire country can ever have rebels enforce effects like raising autonomy or lowering prestige, lowering westernization progress, that kind of crap, which means that the AI is in a much better defensive position. And if we look at the terrain, they only have one fort in woods, and then they've got this fort that they took from Granada. They're not going to delete the fort. I actually don't have any idea how to make the AI delete forts. There's some math that they do that decides where they put it, but he also built only one trade post, and he's starting to build temples. So if we take a look at some of these provinces here, we can see that we've got 3 development, 5... Sorry, we're looking at base tax. So 3, 5, 5, 6, 4... He's also built them over in Toledo, 6 and 4. Ideally, I can't control it so that he will always build them in the highest development. I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to work that way. So that's why he's built some things like here, where it's only, where was it, like 3. He's built a temple up here in a 3 base tax province, which clearly he should have built it in Madrid, right? Why he didn't, I'm not sure. I can't force them to do it exactly how I want, but they've also built it in Sevilla, which is 7, and Gibraltar may have been built by Granada. He did have 25 some years of existence. Maybe he somehow managed to get some money for it. But the most important thing is that he is going to start building barracks and stuff for us soon. So let's go check out like the Ottomans as well, maybe France, and then we'll let 25 more years run. He's actually got all of his forts mothballed right now, which is kind of curious. I'm assuming he's not at war. So he actually is mothballing forts like an actual, normal country would have to do. Now, unfortunately, that does mean that the player could abuse the hell out of this. And they do the thing where you declare war and then you go and you do that. That's the main reason why they actually made them free, was because players were cheesing the AI by declaring war on the first, then marching onto a fort before it could be defended. But I don't know. It might have been because of the clergy. Yeah, there could have been some other modifiers in there. All right, let's see what the Ottomans built. They've got marketplaces in their 2 estuaries. There's also an estuary over here, so he's built one over there. Those are pretty damn high priority. They're one of the highest priorities. And he's building temples all over the place. And he's got forts in a lot of places. Got a fort there, fort there. Level 3 fort in his capital. Got them nice and spread out. Notice the terrain. Flat terrain, flat terrain. A little bit of hills here. Well, I think a lot of these forts start off in the game. He's got one there in Tarnovo. Check out France. And then I think we'll let the game run for a bit. So France has no barracks yet. He's working on a barracks in Nemours, which has 6 manpower. So he's trying to build up his manpower there. It would have been nice to have seen something maybe in the 7 there, but it's still fine. It's close enough. He's got his 2 marketplaces. He's got forts nice and spread out in mostly flat terrain. Paris, this one, Poitou, Narbonne, Bern. He built one here. If we look at the actual defensive spread of those forts, we can see that he's got lots of good zone of control, which is great. There's really nothing else to look at right now. So yeah, we gotta let the game run a little bit more before they can start building some more buildings. More interesting buildings, that is. Wonder if it might be easier if we just like cheat a lot and just make all nations start off with good technology or something. Nah. I think it's going to be a whole lot easier if we just let the game run overnight. Dynastic, that's a change that they made like a patch or two ago that is designed to reset the game state so that they have the exact same checksum every single time. It has to do with people exploiting Iron Man, and it also has to do with multiplayer desyncing, because the only way that Paradox has been able to guarantee the exact same game state is to start from scratch every single time. And so a couple patches ago, they made it so that whenever you restart, it will automatically just restart the entire program. We could start at a later date, but one of the things that I'm trying to test here is I want to see the compounding effect of the AI intelligently building like temples, workshops, that kind of thing earlier in the game, and how significant that snowballs over the course of an entire run. The earlier you build a temple, the more payoff you get. So by having the AI prioritize temples, for example, over, you know, docks and things, and they'll never build regimental camps unless they're almost at their force limit, which they won't ever be at their force limit unless they actually have enough money to build up to their force limit, etc. Then we kind of need to run it from the very beginning. Yeah, this is just a folder full of all the Paradox music for EU4, including the Merry Christmas song. Check Muscovy. I mean, they're only on tech 445 compared to some of these other guys who are like 556, 556, 556. They're not even gonna have the tech to make these buildings yet. Even though they're doing well, they can't build any buildings. And that's the biggest part to this mod, is changing buildings, so. Muscovy's eastern, so they're a little bit behind. You check how Ming is building. Yeah, we can do that. Korchin is apparently occupying Ming. What the hell is going on with Ming? Apparently Ming is losing their war against Korchin. He's got his forts on. He hasn't built anything, and he's built a single temple. I don't know why he's losing. Maybe he's just had a disaster or something. What's his discipline at? 105. Some seriously bad stuff has happened to him. I don't know what. What is going on? Holy crap, he's almost bankrupt. He's got 10 loans. Negative 18 ducats a month. He's about to go bankrupt. He's got 7.77% inflation. I don't think this is my fault. How many does he have? I don't know, but it's probably a lot. Let's check the ledger. Ming has 10 loans. So yeah, Ming is not looking good. Yeah, he's already Ming-ploded. That's a great way to put it. Smarter AI. Hey, you can't make a dig at me for Ming exploding. They do that almost every game. It looks like he probably did lose some army, some recent army, which is why his war exhaustion is at like nearly 4. No, the AI should never take loans to make buildings. That's not something we need to worry about. The AI does never, they never, like, as far as I know, I've never seen the AI proactively take loans. They will not do that. They only take loans. Basically, the AI looks at money different than we do. They don't look at it like, oh, I'm making this many ducats a month, and so I can totally, you know, do this and then do that. No, they also don't even look at their treasury. They just do what they have to do. You know, I want this many troops because I'm at war. I want all my forts on. I need these heavies. I need these advisors. And they just spend the damn money, which is why they go so deeply into debt while they're at war. Because they don't care. You know, they will merc up to win a war. They will always go all out. They never give up until their enthusiasm's low, which is how, you know, that's just how it's working. Looks like there's a little bit of a Castilian rebellion going on. Maybe he's dealing with pretenders and nobles at the same time, and Granadan separatists as well. How do you play as a spectator like this? As soon as you're into a non-Iron Man game, you press the tilde key on the left side of the keyboard, and then you just type observe. And then you are an observer. And you are able to just look around the map without actually playing. The game runs pretty quick without having any player interaction. And then when you want to go, what I do, you tag in. So you just type tag, like tag France, tag Fra. Tag Fra makes you play as France. You can go take a look at their country, see how they're doing and stuff. Limey, that's actually an interesting point. That could be true. I could see how that might happen if their income is so high that the loans are huge. Like maybe if they take out like a 500 gold loan, then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I got money, I should build a building. But my understanding of the way that the AI pays off their debt is that debt repayment is high priority, and it changes the way that they budget. I mean, I'd have to look through the files a little bit more to confirm that that's 100% true, but... Given that you gave a high priority to building forts and capitals, couldn't that lead to deficit in a country such as, let's say, Ulm, that expands and integrates some of its neighbors, ending with a lot of forts? Well, the base AI sometimes does delete forts. Don't know why. Don't know how to force them to do it. But if a nation conquers forts, they will generally hold on to them. We can see that happening here, where Granada does have two forts. Sorry, Castile has two forts adjacent to each other because he conquered Granada. Now, as a player, I would probably delete the fort in Granada, but I haven't found a way anywhere in the files that I can modify their preference for deleting forts. In theory, I suppose you could script it. You could make an event that fires for AI nations only, and then basically assesses two forts that are adjacent to each other and says which one's better and which one's ever better is the one that stays, the one that's worse gets deleted. Just remove it, which is effectively the same thing as deleting it. And then the AI would never build it again, right? Because it'd be adjacent. I could make that work, but that's kind of a lot of work. The new tech system sounds really cool. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so we started in 1444, which means that 50 years of time would be 1494, yes? That mod that Nightbot is linking is not updated. Let me update it real quick. If you guys want to use this, you've got to use the updated version, because the previous version doesn't even work with this version of the game, and it's also not going to, the AI is not going to build buildings right, because they changed some of the buildings around. So one second, let me make a new version of it, and I'll update it. Alright. Manage revisions, or manage versions. Alright, it's updated now. The link should still be the same, but it's a new version. It's the exact same link, Monkey. I managed the version, I'm revised the version that's on my drive file, my Google Drive, so that the link doesn't need to change. As of right this second, if that same link is the version that I'm running right now. If I make any other changes tonight or the next time we do this, then you'll need to download it again, because I haven't put it on the workshop. Yeah, it is a pretty long link. It should be a short link. I could actually provide you with a new one. Let me do that real quick. Get shareable link. Sharing setting. Is there a way to modify this to shrink it anyway? No. The default Google link is pretty long. Sorry. Okay, 10 more years. Why Arumba.tv? Because Arumba.com was taken. Some business in Africa. I don't know. They do stuff. Go to Arumba.com. That's why. No, as of right now, there's no way to send the results. I'll tell you what you could do though is maybe we could put together a location where the save files can be sent, and then we can run them through that Python. Why is it .tv? Because it made sense to me. .com is commercial, right? That was what it used to mean. These days, it's just pretty much everything. Then you got all kinds of other stuff. You got .gov, .biz, whatever, and .tv. You know, it's entertainment. You know, it's made sense to me. Who's that little green guy between Tunis and Morocco? The little green guy is Portugal. That's Portuguese Maghreb. This little guy is like a burgundy color. That's Figwig. Taffy Walt. Where's Tuvalu? Is that a country name? I think if it was arum.ba, people would have made typos and mistakes and stuff. Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd say France and the Papal State don't like each other too much right now. Hold on, holy crap. They are actually, positive opinion. Obstructing church business. Yeah, even though France took over Avignon, they don't hate each other that much. It's an island? Okay. Well, I took it for the .tv, you know, the Americanized, like, hey, it's a TV channel kind of thing. That's why I liked it. Okay, we're only 5 years away, and then it'll have been 50 whole years. And some of these nations now have Tech 657. We got 677. So France and England should both have had an opportunity here. Ooh, Sweden's at 777. We'll see some new buildings, hopefully. Austria's at 767. We should check out some of these interior nations as well. I think France is probably going to be the most interesting as far as buildings go. And the Ottomans. Playing as Riga? Sounds like it'd be a pretty big challenge. Could be fun. Trebizond is building up. Yeah, check it out. They've grown. Meanwhile, Lithuania and Poland are both almost dead. Lithuania got cut in half. Blah. Muscovy's just like, suck it, Lithuania. You will enjoy this, my noodly appendage. Anyway, that's about enough of that, right? Kazan's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Timurids haven't imploded yet. Let's go take a look at Ming. Oh, there's Wu and Yu and Jin and Yan. Yeah, he's wrecked. Not as bad as it could have been, though. Danish pretenders. If he gets weak enough, that might prompt Sweden to break free. Seems like they usually do. They just wait a lot longer than I would have as a player. Yeah, the AI waiting this long to attack Karaman is kind of silly. They're currently at war right now. Apparently that is happening right now. The Ottomans have declared war on the Mamluks. He's going for safeguard Eastern Anatolia, and yet he's attacking the Mamluks down here. He's probably going to separate peace Karaman for his course, be my guess. Okay, we got a year to go. Okay, Beetle. 234. I'll take a look at it after the stream. It does seem like the Ottomans ally the French a lot, in particular because of the what's this thing called again? I've forgotten off the top of my head now. The war for the proper religion of the empire. When the Protestants start to try to attack the emperor, a lot of times Ottomans will join the Protestant side, and because of that, they become friends with France. France, for whatever reason, never wants Austria to be the right guy. Like, they hate Austria, so they always want the emperor to lose, so they have a reason to join against the emperor, so they join the Protestant side, sometimes even when they're Catholic. The Ottomans are, of course, still Sunni, but they join it as well, because their capital is on Europe, so they're allowed to. And so France and Ottomans are kind of natural allies at that point. Yeah, the League War. That's right, thank you. Yeah, the 30 Years' War, the League War. Well, they're not allied right now, are they? They are. Actually, they are. Huh. Okay, I accidentally went a little bit too long. Let's go ahead and tag in. Let's go check out, let's see, who has the best tech? First off, who's got the highest income is another way to look at it, too. The Ottomans are kicking ass. 49 ducats a month. That is a scary Ottoman. Wow. They actually have not as good max manpower as France, though. But, let's go tag into Turkey. Take a look at what he... So he's allowed to build temples, and look at this. Look at these temples! Temples everywhere! I wish that I had another save file that I could just load up right now to show you what the map looks like if we weren't using this mod, but he's got temples everywhere! It's great. Long-term payoff is significant. He's also starting to build some workshops in provinces that make sense, like, say, Sugla has 9 development, 13 here. He's got Sinop, which is 9. So you can see, again, there's still probably some that have more. Like, if we look at development, I bet we could find one that's got higher overall development that he hasn't built in yet, for whatever reason. Like Saruhan. He hasn't built one here, but he could. There's plenty of building slots available, and it's 9 base production. We didn't factor in like goods produced or anything, the type of good. It's just based on development. So, but anyway, he's starting to build those where it makes sense, which is good. He's got lots of temples. He started to build barracks, which is awesome because of course more manpower equals what? Manpower equals fewer mercs. Mercs are freaking expensive. Anything we can do to make the AI not buy mercs is going to make them more competent. So they are preferably not going to do that. He has not built any shipyards at all. And I'm guessing that's probably because, what, are you not at your force limit? You're 21 units over your force limit. Why have you not built any shipyards? Don't tell me I messed that thing up too. We should go take a look at this real quick. Still has just the same number of marketplaces here. Aleppo is an estuary, so that makes sense. Forts are fine. Got a little bit of money. Making 8 ducats a month positive. Tons of army maintenance. And he is only spending 3 ducats a month for 12 forts. That's pretty damn good. Alright, I gotta go check this out real quick. Go check out, we're looking for shipyard. Hey, I will do factor 1250. And the higher the autonomy gets, the less interested he is. Unless owner naval percentage is at 75%. That increases it by 1.2 and 1.2 again multiplicatively, which is about a 44% increase in desire. So since he's over his force limit, if we took a look at like one of these provinces in here, Biga, for example. He's got building slots available. He should be looking at this and saying, okay, I want this thing. Depending on autonomy. In this case, autonomy is at 0%, so it should just be 1250 times 1.2 times 1.2. He should really want to build these. I don't know why he's not building it. The only thing I can think of is that the other numbers, the other factors are still higher. Or I've made a mistake elsewhere and I just don't realize it, recognize it yet. Is there? I don't know that there's an extra bracket. I don't think there is. Shipyard closes out properly. Trigger has port equals yes. Well, let's go figure out what the AI factor is right now on a temple or on like a workshop. Maybe we can figure out. Barracks starts off at 1200. The higher the manpower gets, the more interested he is. I'm not really too worried about that. I want to compare it to like temples. So temples start off at 2500. They're higher, much higher priority. That's the issue. 2500. I do think that making temples before shipyards is probably a good idea. Maybe what we could do, though, is say, like, if you're way over your force limit, you should really, really, really build shipyards. Like, even more stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think that that's a good idea. If we actually make it all the way up to 100% of our force limit, or higher, I'm assuming that this could work. You guys think there's any issue with this? Saying if you're over your force limit by 10%, that you should, like, really, really want to make it? I don't care, I'm just going to do it. We'll find out later if it works. Alright, that's fine for now. Let's tag over to France. This guy. Alright, see, this guy's built a shipyard, so that's alright. I think in the Ottomans' case in particular, since they're so far over the force limit from galley spam, they should have a little bit higher interest in going and building more. Look at these temples! Look at this France, man! Temples almost everywhere. Yes. Only 3 workshops, that's fine. He could build more, he'll keep building them soon. Only a couple marketplaces. Barracks everywhere. Look at this French manpower, man. Look at the maximum manpower France. 73,000 in 50 years. He's already gaining 624 per month. And that's actually, it would actually be much higher. Look at this. If I tag out, go back to observe, France will become a lucky nation. Probably immediately. Or maybe at the beginning of next month. Or did the luck go away because... Wait a second. Why are they not considered lucky? They should be lucky. One sec, let's go back to main menu. What have you done? I've made France terrifying, obviously. I know there's a black screen, just hold on a second. Tagging in during wars change their priorities, reset their goals, just like with reloading the game in Rivals? It might. It's possible. I'm thinking what happened is that Lucky Nations was on by default when I played the Tunis campaign. But maybe when I'm starting these up, Lucky Nations is turned off. No, my default settings here are historical. Huh. Well, that's curious. So what, just tagging into them ruins their luck for the rest of the game? Let's see if, like, does England still have the modifier? I don't think I've tagged into England at all. Nope. Steel? No, they do have luck here. Am I just crazy? Alright, now I'm just forgetting what the damn modifiers to luck are. I could have sworn that there was a modifier to max manpower, or at least manpower recovery speed from luck. Yeah. Let's go look up the lock modifiers real quick, because then I'm losing my mind. They removed the manpower modifier? Okay, that explains it then. These are the effects of the current version of the game. Global trade power, settler chance, missionary strength, spy network construction speed, fort defense, siege ability. They get less unrest, less interest, cheaper mercs, better improved relations, no modifiers to manpower. Okay. I guess that's fine. All AI get free forts. No, I didn't mean to unpause it. We want to check out, like, England's. England has built no shipyards. How's he doing on force limit? He is right up to his naval force limit. So he should be, as of right now, with my changed settings, he would be more interested in building shipyards now, because he's at 100%, which is an extra 20% modifier now. He's built a couple marketplaces, one workshop, some temples, a couple barracks, no regimental camps, and he's got a couple forts. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to build a fort up here. Probably due to the terrain. I'd say building one in Northumberland would be a pretty decent idea, but it's fine. Windows 7 is better than Windows 10, absolutely. Completely. Alright, who else do we want to check out? Maybe Castile? He has not built any workshops yet. Tons of temples. Went to about 6 or so barracks. No shipyards yet. Just the one marketplace. It's nothing too major. And again, the goal here is that we're going to be able to, at some point here, take this data and throw it into this spreadsheet, and we'll have things like, you know, after X number of years, this was the income, and then average it over the course of a whole bunch of different data points, and then see what we would be at without the change. I think the first thing for me to do then is tonight, I'll let the game run overnight, and I'll try that autosave thing. We'll reload the 1821 save, and we'll check the values January 1st, 1821. I think the game ends, what, February of 21? Should you set the shipyards to so that if he over the amount you specify, it will work, or does it not work that way? Not sure what you mean. Ledger numbers look a lot closer to each other than normal. Which ones in particular are you talking about? Like income or max manpower or what? I mean, right away I'm seeing a huge bump to the French. Like, I don't know how the hell France made so much money that they could make that many damn barracks. The Ottomans have way more money, and yet they haven't built out that much. Yeah, the mod's already available. Looks like Austria's doing pretty well, but that's because he's the emperor. Force limit. Ottomans are at 57. No one's actually started to build regimental camps yet. By all means, if you want to run autosaves overnight, run the mod, run vanilla, and set aside a couple autosaves for me if you can. So what you do is you do this. Okay, we're going to save this one for now. I'll probably continue this one since I don't think I've mucked it up just yet. Although I should actually start fresh because unfortunately I did make one final change to the mod. Let me update the mod one more time. So you're all using the same version that I am. Alright, If you follow the link that the bot has been spitting out, you'll get the newest version. I just updated it. So what you do then is you would go to the main menu. Just try to get some save files, right? And then once we'll probably do this on Reddit. Be the place that we coordinate and get all these files sent in. And we'll parse them and do all that stuff if we can. Hopefully we don't end up getting too many. I don't know. Alright, so if you would want to do this, you would just go single player, and like click like France, click play. Preferably make sure all your settings are default, Lucky Nation's on, etc., no randomized new world, that kind of thing. And then you just go observe, go to your settings, game options. Make sure you got your autosave interval to once every at least, once every year would be fine. And then you just let the game run overnight. And then when you come back, the game will be at the end game screen. Then you say load game. The last autosave is going to say 1 January 1821. You load that autosave, or take that autosave. That's what I want. The 1821 January 1st autosave. This is basically the end of the game. And even if you change nothing else, you'll have 3. I think 3 is the default autosave slots. So you'll have 3. You'll have one from 1819, one from 1820, and one from 1821. And I would just take the 1821 one. Sure, Eyes of Monkey. I'm not sure exactly what the best method is going to be. I think we're probably going to end up doing the Python parsing, possibly. It sounds like it's going to be more difficult than we thought, but at the very least, I'm going to run this by myself over the next couple nights and at least get like 3 data points each on my own so that I can set the spreadsheet up properly, and then I could create something where I would be able to parse the Python output files and import the data. I'll set up some VLOOKUPs to do comparisons, and we can actually see roughly how the thing's doing. But hey, just for fun, like, you don't have to do work, right? If you want to, just download the mod and give it a shot. Just play with it and see how the AI feels. See if the AI feels better or harder or whatever. I don't know. Just have fun. Well, France hasn't built any, they haven't built any regimental camps yet, have they? I don't think they have. They built barracks. Oh, no, this is the wrong one. Interestingly, you can load games without the game reloading. Did you notice that? Notice how the game doesn't go back to desktop, but you can load right there? It's kind of weird. Yeah, so he can't build regimental camps. He's built a lot of barracks. Barracks and temples and a couple of workshops. Your webpage says the AI mod is for... Yeah, that's true. It's not a very good website. But it gets the job done, right? Good to go. Okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up here. It's unfortunate that I can't really. I mean, I thought we'd be able to do a lot more data. I was like, oh yeah, we'll totally run like 3 simulations of 100 years each in 2 hours. Totally gonna work. Yeah, totally. Except that no. Recording locally and recording for Twitch at the same time, and then just the fact that the game is rendering all this stuff, even though we don't need to see any of it really, we just need the data, means that we don't actually get very far into this in this period of time. So anyway, I'll have some more data for you soon. As soon as I actually have some data put together, we'll do another stream on this thing. We'll see if we can actually draw some comparisons, do the actual Excel stuff. We'll mess around with formulas and things. It'll be fun. And then we'll be able to draw some final conclusions. But until then, feel free to give the mod a shot now that it's updated for 0.17. Okay, cool. Sounds good, Eyes Monkey. All right, I gotta wrap the stream up here, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. All right, see you soon.